From the Tupperware of our food to the water bottles we buy at the store. But what does all that plastic do? Does it actually come into our diets? And if so, how much? Casey Decker verifies the science behind a recent headline that went viral.
A recent headline from the New York Post read, "You're eating a credit card's worth of plastic a week, and it's killing your gut." The article is talking about microplastics, tiny fragments that are less than 5 millimeters in size. You've probably heard about the rise of microplastics in the ocean, but this article says, according to a scientific study, they're also in your stomach. So let's verify. Does a scientific study say a typical person eats a credit card's worth of plastic per week? We checked with these sources: the actual study in question, the authors of the study, and Dr. Faye Katheru. The first thing to note is that this study is more of a statistical model than an actual breakdown of what's in your gut. The researchers didn't have any human subjects. They took dozens of previous studies that measured how many microplastics are found in things like bottled water or shellfish, estimated how much those particles weigh, and then estimated how much of those products a person typically consumes. Because those calculations require assumptions that could vary wildly from individual realities, the results of the study are a range rather than one definitive number. Their analysis determined humans likely consume between 0.1 and 5 grams of microplastic per week. 5 grams is the typical weight of a credit card. So if you were to fall on the high end of the spectrum, the New York Post headline is plausible, but it omits the rest of that range. Here's what the lead author told us, quote, "It is not entirely inaccurate, as it is possible that there are people in the world consuming up to a credit card's worth of plastic per week, or more. But it is also important to bear in mind that the findings did not suggest that every individual in the world is consuming a credit card's worth of plastic each week." And here's what another microplastics expert told us.
Looking at it myself, I would estimate something towards the lower end, because the smallest particles really don't weigh very much. And so they actually did a calculation in the paper, which was 0.7 grams per week. And I think that's probably about right for the numbers they were looking at.
So we can verify, no, research does not suggest a typical person is eating a credit card's worth of plastic every week. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
And if there's something you'd like us to verify, you can always email verify@12newsnow.com, or you can send direct messages to us on social media.